Good morning. I have 11 quarts of frozen elderberries, and so we're going to deal with two of them today. Last year I made elderberry jelly, but I did not make elderberry syrup. I'm completely out of elderberry syrup, so even though I prefer the jelly, I have 11 quarts, so I might make a couple batches of the elderberry syrup. This was the recipe I found. I have fresh berries. I don't have dried ones. I did not like using the ginger root and the cinnamon and the cloves. It just gave it way too... I want it to taste like elderberries, not just like spiced. So, I think I have 8 cups. It calls for 6, so I'm going to have to prorate this for 8 cups of elderberries in the water. And then I used honey the first time I made it, which is great. I have plenty of honey, but it fermented in the refrigerator, and I found out I had to freeze it instead and then just take it out as I needed it. If I use vegetable glycerin, that seems to preserve it, and I can just keep it in the refrigerator all winter. So I have a whole gallon of vegetable glycerin somewhere in the cupboard. I'll have to find that. But that's going to be a long time from now, because I'm embarrassed. These are actually pretty easy proportions. So instead of 6, 9, and 3, we will go with 8 elderberries, 12 water, and 4 cups of vegetable glycerin. I set these in the refrigerator overnight, so pretty much they're thawed. They're kind of thawed. Don't worry about the stems when I strain those out. That'll take care of that. I took the big stems out when I took them out of the big freezer sacks, but the little stems, yeah, we're not going to worry about them right now. You don't want to have too many green berries. The green berries will make it, they have more pectin, so they will thicken it. This is about the right amount. I'm not worried about that. Okay, that's 8 cups of berries. Now I need 12 cups of water, and we will use our messy jars to get rid of some of those berries. So 4, so 2 of those, plus another one. Here we go. Here's 8 cups. I wanted to show you this because it's a very cool sort of black light kind of color. Yeah, we need 1 more of those. I didn't remind you this time, but elderberries are not to be eaten raw. Must be cooked. So as pretty as this purple water is, we're not going to try to drink it. I'm hoping by the time they're done simmering and soaking for 6 to 8 hours, I will remember how I strained them last time, because I think it was a 2-step process. I got rid of most of the stems first. It'll come back to me. I've got 6 hours to remember. 15 minutes of simmering down, and another, it's warm, 10 to 15 to go. I'm not going to kid you here. This stuff does not smell good. Yeah, it's not like, cooking blackberries or something. 30 minutes are up. You can see how they kind of got wrinkly. Stir it down here, put a tight fitting lid on it, and check back in 6 to 8 hours. And now I'll mash the elderberries. Wait a minute. Wrong pan. Wrong pan. 7 hours later, looks like the berries all floated to the bottom. I'll mash these up. And then put them through this strainer first, and then I'll strain them again with a finer strainer. And then these are fairly dry now. I mean, I have plenty of elderberries. If I did, I might try to squeeze every last bit out of them, but now these are going to go in the compost. Yeah, I poured it through this strainer, and you can see there's only just a few seeds. All I have to do now is mix in the 4 cups of glycerin, and then put it in jars and put it in the refrigerator. It looks a little bit like corn syrup. It's very gloppy. It doesn't have any sugar grams in it. It does have carb grams. I'll have to scrape the rest of that out. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's actually pretty simple. It just takes a little bit of time to let the elderberry soak. I guess I could taste it. It's not going to taste very good. I think the serving size for this for adults is about 1 tablespoon, 1 to 2 tablespoons. I am pouring it into a finer strainer yet. Go in the quart jars. Well, we started with 12 cups of water, plus the berries. It's going to make more than 12 cups of syrup. I will put the narrow-mouthed in the refrigerator, and then the wide-mouthed in the freezer. Well, this ended up making 4 quarts and 1 pint of elderberry syrup. And that was only 2 quarts of frozen berries. I have 9 more quarts. So I'm making an executive decision. This stuff is pretty runny. So the next time I make it, let's see, I've changed it on here. To make a thicker syrup, I am going to use only 8 cups, the equal parts of elderberries and water, and then half that amount of the honey or vegetable glycerin. So instead of 12 cups of water, 8 cups of water. Because this is plenty runny, and I don't want to take up that much room in my freezer and my refrigerator. I will let these cool completely in the refrigerator before I freeze these, and I have filled these just a little bit too full, I think. Might have to take just a tiny bit out. I will put the other 2 in the refrigerator. It looks like I'm set for the winter. Anybody need some elderberries? Give me a call.